ready to get started. And first we'd like to check to see if there's any emergency or priority traffic. Good evening. It's Tuesday, November 16th, 2021. And this is Jeff, KK6 Tango Romeo Charlie. You're listening to the Cara Net at 9 Wellness and Support Net. This is not the Wellness and Health Net or the Wellness and whatever net. It's the Wellness and Support Net, although it's been called many things. Coming to you from the Catalina Repeater system on Catalina Island, I'm Jeff, KK6 Tango Romeo Charlie, and I'm pleased to be your host tonight. I'd like to welcome all of you that are listening and encourage you to please join us tonight. During the net, both the 2-meter and 1.25-meter Cara repeaters are linked, and that will be our buzzword for tonight, linked. And you can also reach us on our digital modes, Echolink and All-Star. If you have family or friends who would like to listen in, don't have their radio license or a radio, they can do so over the internet by going to cara.radio. Scroll to the bottom of the page, look for the black box and press the play button and listen to us over Broadcastify. That's cara.radio. Also, we have a Facebook page. Just go to Facebook and search for Cara Net at 9, C-A-R-A Net at 9, using the @ sign and the number 9. If you'd like to email me with any information or chat off the air, my call sign is KK6TRC@yahoo.com. Not my call sign, but my email, KK6TRC@yahoo.com. Net at 9 meets Monday through Friday in the morning at 9 a.m. and we finish up the day with an evening net at 9 p.m. You don't need to be a club member to join us. This net is available to all amateur radio operators. Although if you find yourself a regular here, you might be interested in joining the Cara Club. Just go to cara.radio, C-A-R-A.radio, and tap the membership tab or click on the membership tab. It's pretty simple to go through the process. Check-in will begin in just a minute. Okay, so to join us in tonight's net, all you need to do is check in with your call sign, name, location if you'd like. We'll go a couple of rounds. First round is a hi, how are you doing round? What'd you do today? How'd your day go? What's on your mind? Second round, we'll bring up a topic, and we'll discuss a topic. If you have a topic, let us know. If not, well, I've got a few loaded up. So once again, your call sign and name and topic if you'd like. We'll start check-ins by groups. Okay, so let's start this thing off with our data modes, Echolink All-Star. If you're out there and you want to come to us through a data mode, you've got first crack at it. So anybody on Echolink or All-Star, now's the time to check in to Net at 9 Wellness and Support Net. Please come now. Call sign, first name.
KJ6IK, Mark, Buena Park.
Good evening, Mark. KG6IKA. Sounds like RF.
Yes, KJ6IK, Mark. Over here in Buena Park.
Okay, very good. Good to have you on board, Mark. Look forward to chatting with you. Let's see. Let's try for Echolink All-Star data modes. One more time. Anybody Echolink or All-Star? Come now. Call sign. First name. very good. We'll give another try for them in just a bit. Let's go to distant stations. If you're out there in San Diego, Ventura, Riverside, High Desert, anywhere but LA or Orange County, we'll get to you in just a second, LA or Orange County. Now is distant stations, San Diego, Ventura, Riverside, High Desert area. Please come now, call sign, first name.
Good evening, Jeff and the group. Kilo Golf 6 India, Yankee November. Bruce in San Diego on the side.
KM6 OJB Joe, Rancho Cucamonga. Good evening, Jeff and everyone on the net.
Kilo November 6 India, Papa Whiskey, Dan in Oceanside.
Okay, very good. That time, top of the list, I've got Mark, KJ6IKA. Then Bruce on the side, KG6IY in San Diego, sounding good. Joe, KM6OJB, remarkable signal tonight, Rancho Cucamonga. And Oceanside Dan, KN6IPW. Any other distant stations, come now.
November 6, Quebec, Alpha Papa, Grand Terrace.
Okay, I got November 6, Quebec, Alpha Papa. Is that Mark?
November 6, Quebec, Alpha Papa, Mark, and Grand Terrace. Thank you.
See, you didn't say your first name, and I got it. You're getting to be a regular here. Good evening, Mark. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so we've got our distant stations in. Let's go back and try Echolink All-Star, short timers, or anybody mobile. Echolink All-Star, short timers, or anybody mobile. Come now, call sign, first name.
KN6, Oscar Quebec Sierra, John Fullerton, mobile on the side.
Okay, John and Fullerton, KN6 Oscar Quebec Sierra, mobile on the side. Hope you enjoy the net tonight. Certainly welcome anybody out there. If you're listening and you enjoy listening, let us know. Let us know by checking in. And if you don't want to participate in that, that's okay. Just let us know and say on the side. So got you in there, John. All right, let's start with the, let's go to LA County. Anybody in Los Angeles County out there, now's your turn. Call sign, first name.
KD4STN Joe in Santa Monica. November 6, Mexico, Germany, Milt, Roland Heights on 220.
Kilo November 6, Papa Alpha Romeo and Lakewood.
Okay, Papa Alpha Romeo. I think your first name is Jim, is that correct?
Yes, sir, it is. Thank you.
Okay, very good. I got Joe, KD4STN, checked in. Good evening, Joe. Milt, N6MG on 220 tonight. Sounding good. Sounds like the frequency's locked in tonight. And Jim, KN6PAR. Don't forget to get up on the mic there. And your signal's not bad tonight. You know, it's very, I got some headphones on, so maybe that's helping me out. One more time for LA County, please come now. Very good. Let's go to Orange County. Orange County operators, now's your chance to check into net at 9. You got the floor. Come now, call sign. Well, you know what? I think I'll be the first check-in. KK6TRC. Okay, very good. I got myself checked in. And I know my name, it's Jeff. And we'll continue on. So if you're in Orange County and you want to check into net at 9, now's your chance. Please come now, call sign, first name.
Kilo Bravo 6, Tango Kilo Alpha. Jim, rusted and Tustin.
Kilo November 6, Juliet India Bravo, Ted and your Belinda.
KG6, Juliet Bravo Lima, Jerry in Fountain Valley.
Kilo Golf 6, Golf India Alpha, David Orange.
All right, very good. Rustin and Tustin, Jim, KB6TKA, sounding mighty fine tonight. Ted and your Belinda, KN6JIB, nice strong signal in. Jerry, Fountain Valley, KD6JBL, good to have you on board. And Dave in Orange, KG6GIA, 2 nights in a row, you must be feeling good. Any others, Orange County, come now.
Good evening, Jeff. Tom, Whiskey 6 Echo Tango Charlie in the Heights of Tustin.
Got you on the list there, Tom. Good evening, brother. Any others, anywhere, any mode, any way you can get to the repeater, whether it be, you know, RF or Echolink, All-Star, 2 cans and a string, honk your horn, flash your lights, whatever you got. See if you can make the repeater open to all comers. Come now, call sign, first name. How about this? Let's open it up to the sandbaggers. Anybody out there listening and doesn't want to participate or chat with us, but just want to check in and let us know you're on the side, that'd be fine too. Let us know. Call sign, first name.
Number 6, Echo Delta, Terry, just passing through, listening. Rancho Cucamonga.
Echo Delta, Terry. I didn't get the first part of your call. Can you repeat that, please?
November 6, Echo Delta.
Rancho Cucamonga. Doing fine from Rancho Cucamonga. Terry, nice to have you on board and for the listen. Any others just listening tonight, come now, call sign, first name. Okay, one more call for all stations. Anybody that wants to participate, go ahead, call sign, first name. Jeff, KK6 Tango Romeo Charlie. You're listening to Net at 9 Wellness and Support Net. We're getting round 1 started off. How you doing? What'd you do today? That kind of thing. Let's start up at the top with Mark, KJ6IKA. Good evening. What's going on with you?
KJ6IKA. Taking it easy, relaxing tonight. I'll be about this time tomorrow night. We'll be getting ready to go to work. My day off, so I'm taking it easy. Just a few little things over my weekend. That's about it. Relaxing, spending time with my wife. So my son should be home from work pretty soon, another hour or so. Work swing shift. Spend some time with the family. That's about it. Thanks for picking me up. I should be here second round, KJ6IKA.
Hey, the coveted night off. Hope you're relaxing and enjoying it. Sounding good into the repeater, making the trip just fine, Mark. And hey, was Mike up and running last night on Keller?
Comment.
To be honest with you, trying to think if I listened. I thought I did, but I don't remember. I slept since then.
Okay, very good. Thanks, Mark. I think Jerry's got a comment. Go ahead.
No, Jeff, he was missing in action. I took the afternet for a couple of rounds. I don't know where he is. Hopefully he shows up tonight. Back to you, KG6JBL.
Maybe he's getting some work done on himself there. I know he was having problems with his throat and his tongue, so maybe he's doing some healing. Mike, if you're listening, we're chatting about you and we're thinking about you. Hope everything's well. Hopefully you can check in, but if you can't, that's fine too. Anyhow, let's see. Bruce is on the side. Bruce, one of these days you got to jump in and chat with us. Thanks for listening. Joe, KM60JB, fine sound tonight. Rancho Cucamonga, how you doing?
This is Joe, KM60JB. Good evening, Jeff, and everyone on the net. So today's doing good. It's much cooler today than it has been for last week. I think it got up to like 60-something. That's a far cry from 88. Anyways, currently we got 55 degrees. I did manage to get a nice walk in this morning, 4 miles. And construction is doing well. I think they're actually getting done with my street. I'll have to find out tomorrow if they're still on it or not. But it looked like they got it all finished today. But they got the rest of the neighborhood tore up, so it doesn't much matter. This morning I tried to get on the net at 9, and I couldn't even hear 1 or 2 words at a time. That's how bad the reception was. So, but tonight you're at 10. So, the S meter says 10. This morning it was like 4. It's a little bit of difference, isn't it? Anyways, don't have much else right now. KM60JB, back to Jeff.
Joe, do you run Echo Link?
I do when I absolutely have to. Otherwise, I prefer not to. KM60JB, back to you.
Yeah, obviously, just saying that's an alternative to RF. If you can't check in on RF, you can always check in on Echo Link. As long as our 1.25 is linked and it's up and running. Good deal. Glad you had a good day today. And definitely, it was chillier today. It did not burn off here until almost noon. And it was dark, thick clouds. I mean, it almost looked like it was going to rain. And then it burned off, and it was a beautiful day. And then it came right back in pretty quick. You know, like 4 o'clock, it was over the top of us, and we had that onshore flow, and things are much cooler. Running a little heater in the shack here. Let's go see what Dan is up to. KN6IPW. Good evening, Dan.
Hey, Jeff, and everybody on the net. Not too much. Normal work day. You know, leaving when it's dark. So I'm sure that's we all love this time of year. Let's see. Today I had something. You know, most of the people I work with are about half my age, and I had there was a learning experience today. One of the employees there, we were troubleshooting an instrument, and it was after he fixed it. He's like, well, I'm here. I'm going to go ahead and fix this. I'm like, it's not broken. Don't fix it. And he's like, yeah, I know what you mean, but let's go ahead and fix it. And what do you think happened? He broke it. So I think it was a learning experience for him, and I didn't say I told you so. I didn't rub it in his face. I just kind of sat there quietly, and we went ahead and went on about the repair. But sometimes, you know, experience will steer you the right way, even if it means not doing it exactly, making it the best it can be. Sometimes just leaving it alone is the best thing to do. The other thing is, I checked out the Cara Facebook page, and I tried to post a picture of my setup, what I'm doing here for Motionside, but it was like 3 or 4 days ago, and I think somebody's got to approve it or something, but didn't know if maybe my post didn't meet standards. Anyway, no big deal, but thanks for hosting and standing by for round 2, KN6 IPW.
Okay, well, hopefully they'll take advantage of the skills that you have through your experience in the future, and maybe they'll wake up to that. We'll see how quick of learners they are. I'm sure that puts you in a unique position there. And you had mentioned that they didn't do anything for Veterans Day, and I thought that was just a shame. I think that's a miss they're making there, and that hopefully they wake up to that issue. Very good there. Thanks for checking in, Dan. Stick around for second round. I'd be interested to hear your comments. Mark, KN6QAP. Good evening. Sounding pretty good tonight. How you doing?
Good evening, everybody. Jeff, sounding good. I had a great day today. He was talking about something getting broke. I got something fixed. I had an opportunity to go to Orange County. I went down to Astron on 9 Autry in Irvine and took my power supply in, my RS-35. Guy worked on it a few minutes, brought it back, says, it's good to go. So he fixed it. I said, what was wrong? He said, well, it was in crowbar protection, and I don't know why. You know, I've been using that thing for years. I bought it in 96, I think it was. Anyway, it's like 28 years old. So he fixed it, and also at the same time, I bought an SS30M, a switching power supply, 30 amp, and I love it. My little 2980 Yaesu sitting on top, and we're putting out about 30 watts, I guess. But let me reset here. I wasn't looking forward to going to Orange County, but it ended up being pleasant because my in-laws live down there in Irvine near Culver and Michelson, and my father-in-law put in Sherman Clay Warehouse in Fountain Valley. He did that for the guy that owned the company, and we did a lot of traveling around there, and I really enjoyed being down there today. Met a nice fellow named Ryan at Astron. They're a great company, but I enjoyed the day. The traffic was terrible, mostly coming. Going back, not so bad, but it was really heavy. They had some problems going through Corona and through Riverside. Stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. So anyway, everybody sounds good. 73 to all. Thank you, Jeff and the net. Back to you, Jeff. N6QAP.
And I got a little power supply, switching power supply. That's 30 amp also. It has Anderson power pole built right into it, which I use in my shack here, so it's very convenient. I love it. You can't beat it for the size and the weight, and I've not had any problems with it. But for the shack here, I'm using a couple of golf cart batteries and a couple of different types of charging systems. One is plugged into the wall with a smart charger that floats the load, or floats it, doesn't cook the batteries, and then the other way is I can go solar, throw out a solar panel and charge it that way. Anyhow, it was good chatting with you there, QAP Mark, and sounds like you're having a fine day. John's on the side, OQS. Joe, KD4STN, good evening. How you doing out there?
Good evening to everybody on the net, doing well. Was reading an article in QRZ about the apparently Cuba's jamming 40 meters. I don't know if anyone else has ever heard about that, but I think the other night Chris was saying something about someone was getting into Cuba on 6 meters, so I was just wondering if other people are making any contacts into that island country. And whether or not the jamming was that effective. And then it kind of got me thinking about, how can you jam the whole 40-meter spectrum, So anyways, I don't know if anyone with technical expertise has some better ideas of that, but I was just reading articles about that tonight. This is KD4STN back to net control.
Maybe somebody has a comment about that. I heard about that a while back. That's been going on a while, if that's the case. I either read something or was on the internet or something like that. I had read about Cuba having that jamming going on, so it doesn't sound like it's a very free society over there. And if there's any comments on that, come now.
GIA.
There we go. We got one. Go ahead, Dave.
KG6 GIA David Orge. Earlier this summer, with a receiving station here, we're picking up what sounded like the Russian woodpecker. For those of you who don't know what that was, it was a radar jamming signal that was used by the Russians back in the Cold War era. We were picking up a signal like that for several days or almost several weeks, back August or so over the summer. I haven't heard it lately, but I haven't been listening on those frequencies. I think it would be pretty hard to jam all of the 40. KG6 GIA Dave.
You brought up an interesting subject, the Russian woodpecker. That went on for a long time. There are operators on this frequency that were operating when that happened, and that's an interesting subject. You can go on YouTube and just YouTube that. The size of that antenna is something you can see from outer space. It's massive, and the one in Chernobyl is still standing. They couldn't take it down because it's radiated. So over the horizon radar, some archaic radar. Anyhow, very good. Thanks for the comment, Dave. We just had Mark. Or I'm sorry, we just had Joe. Next up is Milt, K6KN. Or no, not a K. There's no K in that. N6MG Milt.
Hi, Jeff in the net, N6MG. Well, the woodpecker. Distinct difference between the Russian woodpecker and what we're experiencing now. The Russian woodpecker was a tap, 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 tap. I mean, very loud, very audible, and on a multitude of bands. Now, what we're experiencing now, and back when the Russians were doing that, it was over the horizon radar that they were experimenting with. Of course, we probably broke the bank on, I guess, most all of their research. But that's what I remember about the woodpecker. Joe, what I remember is it bothered a lot of bands, but I'm not really sure how broad a spectrum it actually was. But at any rate, that's it on the noise. Is it making noise that interferes with our VHF, UHF repeaters? I don't hardly think so. I mean, even that far from Cuba. I mean, and it would be a broadband signal, but not. I just can't see that. Simply because of the propagation and a 2-meter wavelength is approximately 6 feet, and there's a lot of 6 feet between here in Camagüey province of Mexico, where their research labs are. Been to Cuba several times. So at any rate, that's a story. Back to you, Jeff. N6MG.
Well, that brings up another question, Milt, if you've got a second. So that RFI that was going on, or QRM, it was just a dirty signal on a microwave band that was just blowing out pretty much all communication or being able to get in the way of most bands. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not exactly sure how to answer that. You know what? Give that to me again and change just a few words.
Okay, speaking of the Russian woodpecker, over the horizon radar, it was a very large antenna system, very powerful. My guess is it was working in the microwave band, but I would imagine that it was just a very dirty transmitter that was, putting out so much RFI that it was affecting other bands. Would that be correct?
I'm not able to answer that with any authority, although where it manifested itself to us was on HF, 20 meters, and I don't really recall it on 10 or 15, because at that time this war, before we had 12, 17, and 30 meters, the higher frequencies, but it was hell on 20 meters, I can tell you that.
That's amazing. Think about that, globally blowing out 20 meters. Very interesting. Thanks there, Milt. Appreciate the response, and hopefully I didn't put you in a spot there. Anyhow, Jim, KN6PAR, Lakewood. Good evening. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Hopefully you can hear me tonight, and I actually have the PCT switch pushed. Can you hear me?
You betcha. We're hearing you much better tonight. Go ahead with your intro there, and tell us how you're doing.
I'm doing all right. I got a buddy up in Oregon, man, that is listening on the Kara radio site to see if he could actually hear me. I've been trying to talk him into getting back in the ham radio. I'm going to...
Okay, Jim, what's your buddy's name?
Tom Henderson up there in McMinnville, Oregon.
Well, Tom Henderson in Bend, Oregon. I think you said Bend, Oregon. I've been to Bend, if that's where you're talking about. Good evening, and glad to have you listening out there tonight. And get yourself your license. If you need to renew, go ahead and do that. You can do it. And Jim, pleasure chatting with you. Remember to throw your call out there when you're done. Throw your call sign out when you're finished.
Well, I wasn't quite finished, but can I tell you one other thing?
Absolutely, we're listening.
Okay, I went to the grocery store today, and this woman, man, she was running around the store looking at all these turkeys, right? And she asked the butcher, she said, don't these turkeys get any bigger? And the butcher looked back at her and said, no, they're all dead. KN6PAR back to the net. And I'll be on the site for the second round, and thanks, Jeff.
Okay, very good. thanks for checking in with us tonight and giving us your first round. You're sounding much better tonight. I got to give you that. The signal is much cleaner and much easier to hear. So good job on that. Let's go to see what Jeff is. Well, that's me. I'm looking down at my list, calling myself. All right, well, let's see. What did I do today? I put Christmas lights up in the front entrance of our complex here. And climbing up palm trees on a ladder is not my game right now, so I had some help. And what else did I do? I ordered a lift kit for my Jeep, and I got an old 1987 Cherokee, Jeep Cherokee that I'm going to put a lift kit on, a proper lift kit on. So hopefully that'll get here soon. And that's about it. We'll send it over to Jim, KB6TKA. How you doing?
KB6TKA. Good evening to the net, Jeff, and I'm doing fine. I took a bike ride this morning. That's 3 days in a row, so that's pretty good for me here lately. And just got a couple miles in, a couple of laps around the circle there, and going to be taking tomorrow morning off. I'll be over at your brother's house. So I spent about a couple hours in the kitchen today and made up some chocolate chip cookies. So I got to take some over to the nursery where I trade, and I always treat them over there because they're always good to me. No discounts or nothing, but they're always real nice. So then, let's see. Then I waiting to finish a project. Carol or my wife has the case. She's like, gosh darn it, Jim, come on, wake up. My wife has to finish painting her project, and then I can put it together here probably the end of the week. So that's about it. So not much else going on. KB6TK, back to the group.
Well, you get more bees with honey, don't you? So good job with the cookies, and looking forward to a new batch when I get over there. We'll see. Let's see. You're listening to the Kara Net at 9 Wellness and Support Net. This is Jeff, KK6 Tango Romeo Charlie. Let's see if there are any others out there who would like to check in tonight. Please come now. Call sign, first name.
Good evening, K6RMR handheld on 220. KF6LEX, Chris Garden Grove.
W6LAK, Midge, Seal Beach on the side.
Very good. Got Stan, KF6RMR, Chris, KF6LEX, and Midge on the side, W6LIK. Good evening, all. All right, let's keep this ball rolling. We just had Jim, KB6TKA, tell us about his cookies and his day. And that sounds good. Ted, KN6JIB, how you doing tonight?
This is KN6JIB. Good evening to you, Jeff, and the net. Doing pretty well. I had a pleasant day today. I think others have noted that we had beautiful weather today. Took advantage of that, went down to the city of Orange and ran some errands through early afternoon, had lunch with my son. We dined al fresco at our local diner. It was a nice, pleasant couple-hour lunch with him, and I got to catch up. Came on back, worked in the home office here, and then called into my usual couple of nets on Tuesday evening before this one. And that was the day. KN6JIB, back to you.
Very good, Ted. Sounding good from your Belinda tonight. The system's working well. Have you had to participate in Skywarn recently?
Roger, that was one of the nets I called into this evening. We haven't had any activations lately, but I did call into the usual routine net this evening. Real quick check on equipment and catching up with net control. KN6JIB.
Okay, very good. Thanks for the check-in. Stick around for second round. Let's go to Jerry. Good evening, Jerry. KD6JBL. How you doing tonight?
Good evening, Jeff. Jeff. KD6JBL, Jerry in Fountain Valley. You're with the Wellness and Support. Seems to me WS. Wasn't there a brand of beans named that? WS? That's about the only way I'm going to remember this or try to. Anyway, had a pleasant day. I got out of the sack late because of the overcast. You know, I wake up by the sun, so if it's overcast, I have a tendency to sleep longer. And rushed around, got a shower and everything, got cleaned up, and met Ping at 11 o'clock at the East Buffet, and we had lunch together. That was always good. Come home, climbed up on the couch, and went horizontal immediately like a python. And the dog, he hadn't been with me to eat, but he did the same thing. He climbed up and got behind my legs and slept with me. Then I got up about 3 and started to do the things I should have done earlier, but I got them pretty well done. I had to take something back to Amazon and drop it off. I had to go buy him some more dog food. Maybe that's why he was so accommodating today. And then I decided that, I stopped at a couple other stops, didn't get anything else. I decided the rest of it could wait till tomorrow. So I came home, and it was well after dark. So I didn't start out till about 5:36. So, God, it gets dark early. I wish we were on Zoom time. All right, Jeff, enough of that. KD6JBL, back to you.
That sounds just about like the perfect day. Wake up late, sleep in, and then go put yourself in a food coma. Come back and take another nap. I love naps. And then go about your day. And a little bit of manana thrown in there too. So, wow, perfect day. I can't say I could beat that one. Thanks, Jerry. Sounding good in Fountain Valley. Yeah, that overcast was something today. Let's see what Dave's up to. KG6GIA. Tell us how you're doing, and how's that eye coming along, and how's that healing coming?
KG6GIA, David Orge. It's coming along. Spent the day going to doctors and giving blood samples and talking to people, and yeah, it's a lot of negotiating. Hard one right now is they change the application of the beds, and then they start backing them off next week. I'm up to my 5th day now, and it takes each bed takes 10 minutes to set in, and so I got to wait for the next one to start. So it's a process, takes like 30 minutes. And the eyes start to come around. And Mitch, if you're out there, really do appreciate the wellness check-in card. That really made my day, helped me get through the day. And it also inspired the family. They're like, hey, people are worried about you out there. So that was kind of nice. Yeah, earlier comment about the Russian woodpecker over the summer, we heard it only on HF. I never have ever heard anything like that on 2 meter or even 6 meter. Yeah, it was way up at the bands, and people back in Florida and Colorado had mentioned it, so we put up a pretty good log wire up here. We're listed on the HF receiver, and we're picking it up periodically, so it was something definitely over in Cuba area, Texas area, nothing out here. KG6GIA, back over to you.
Well, all good news on the eye, it sounds like, and Midge is a very kind and giving person. That she sent me a card when I was injured, and that was very sweet of her. So, Midge, you're awesome. I'm telling you. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. Good deal, Dave. Keep healing. Let's see what Tom's up to. W6ETC. Good evening, brother.
Good evening, Jeff, and good evening to everyone on tonight's net at 9. Thanks, Jeff, for running the net. Not doing really too much tonight, and have had a busy day doing a lot of, I basically had to be in practice being a plumber. Had to rebuild our shower manifold by the seats and the cartridge and the hoses and the shower head, and fix some leaks and blah, blah, blah. Not like what happened a couple of years back, Jeff, if you remember when it leaked in the wall. And leaks in the wall don't necessarily go well in most homes. So tonight I'm kind of looking on Amazon. We were out earlier today looking for clear ornaments of all things. My wife's kind of a crafter, and she wanted to do things for some friends and family with clear ornaments. Haven't been able to find any, kind of short supply. And ironically, I was looking on Facebook, and somebody mentioned that he tried to post something on that at 9, but not to deviate from the conversation, I happened to notice that somebody was selling, believe it or not, baked beans, homemade baked beans in a clear Christmas ornament. I thought that kind of odd. Baked beans in an ornament. Okay, well, you know what? Anything is possible or plausible, I guess. If you don't like someone, give them baked beans in an ornament. Hey, Jim, that might be an idea for you. You know, who knows? Smoked cucumbers in an ornament or peppers in an ornament? I don't know. All right, that's all. It's interesting conversation tonight. I'm sorry I carried on. W6ETC.
Corvette.
Go ahead, comment.
KG6GIA over to Top. If she goes over to Dollar Tree, they have battery-operated clear icicles, approximately 4 to 8 inches long. I think there's 2 at a set or 4 at a set. I don't know. There's $1 for a set of those. Anyway, look way up high on the shelf. KG6GIA Dave.
Very good. There's a resource for you there, Tom. Any other comments? Go ahead. Well, it sounds like you had a good day today, Tom. And, you know, you reminded me, the person who was calling about not being able to get onto the Facebook page or waiting for an approval, I'm administrator on that page. There's a couple of us for that. I don't have any requests by anybody that has answered the questions or even remotely has anything to do with ham radio. It looks more like this is just kind of spamming here. There is one request here. SV Dukes on Sunday is what the title of the request is. If that's you, who was it that was trying to get on Facebook? Can you come now? Call sign first name.
Oh, yes, that's me, KN6IPW Dan. My boat's name is Dukes on Sunday. And the post is a picture of my antenna and my radio. That's what it should be. Anyway, back to you.
Okay, well, that makes a little more sense now. Have you answered any questions? Because it says that you haven't answered the vetting questions. Are you familiar with that?
Oh, thanks for asking. When I clicked on answer questions, it just went back to my post, and it said awaiting approval. It didn't prompt me to answer any questions, so I'm sure that's the problem. But maybe I'll try on my laptop instead of my phone. Maybe it'll be a different option there. Thank you, though.
Okay, you're approved. You're in. You're good to go. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. I'll take a look at that. Let's see, what else do we have here? We've got, up next is Stan, K6RMR. Good evening. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good, K6RMR. Anyway, yeah, I wasn't feeling very good. I thought I had COVID again, but the test said that I'm negative, so it was bronchitis, so my doctor put me on antibiotics, and I guess after a couple of days of that, I'll start feeling better. Anyway, that Russian woodpecker, a couple of decades ago, it came out that it wasn't Russia. Turned out it was our own government doing that. So I think that goes back about 25, 30 years, because that woodpecker goes all the way back into the 1960s, back to net control case of trauma.
Wow, breaking news. It was the own U.S. government doing that. That's a good one. Now, what about those Stan, have you seen the pictures of the very large array in Chernobyl that they're saying was part of that system?
Yeah, well, who knows what the Russians have, or, democracy has always been very short-lived in Russia. The democracy when 1919 only lasted a couple of months, and then the other democracy that they had after the Iron Curtain collapsed, how long did that last? Kate Summer.
Absolutely good points. Very good. Thanks for the check-in tonight, and stick around for second round, which we're about ready to fire off here. We've got Midge, W6LIK on the side, and certainly, Midge, if you want to comment, you're certainly welcome to. So before we go to second round, let's see if there's any comments or check-ins.
Late check-in, Alpha Delta 4, Alpha Lima, Doug in Oceanside.
Got you on the list, Doug. Very good. Alpha Delta 4, Alpha Lima. Any other comments or check-ins? Come now. Well, I was listening to the radio this afternoon, and I was hearing a nice little round table go on Kara, and the subject was jumping from one thing to another. And one thing that caught my ear was that this is going to be the round 2 subject. I'm going to call it linked systems. Linked systems. So, the Papa system, the Wind system, the Carla system, Condor, All-Star, Echolink, and don't forget the good old RF repeaters that we're on right now. Many repeater systems are linked, providing multi-stage coverage. These systems are inter-T systems. That's something I looked up, so that's not a word I normally use. So anyway, some repeaters are linked through the internet using systems like Echolink and Fusion, D-Star, and other systems, allowing you to talk around the world on a local repeater. I mentioned the Papa system. It's a member-supported wide area amateur radio network of interlinked analog FM, D-Star, DMR, and Fusion repeaters, providing extensive coverage of the Southern California region and beyond. And then we got the Wind system, or the Western Inter-T Network Wind system. The Wind system is an open repeater system and operates a series of over 100 link repeaters, which cover a great deal of the United States and many other countries around the world. Another linked system. And then there's the Carla system, the California Amateur Radio Linking Association, and it has linked repeaters covering northern and central California as well as western Nevada. The last one I'll mention is the Condor connection, and that's a system that covers the southwestern United States, operating in California, Nevada, and Arizona. So, linked systems, lots of choices. Many have their own challenges. What's your experience with linked systems? And lastly, for those of us who are not familiar with it, how do you start? Let's start up at the top. KJ6IKA, you participate in Echolink, a linked system. How about any others? Mark, over to you. KJ6IKA.
KJ6IK. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much to say about it, really. I haven't thought about it too much. I use All-Star a lot. Connecting different repeaters to different states and stuff. It's a good thing. I've met good people, talked, so it works pretty good, So about it. KJ6IK back to net.
Okay, so you have an All-Star link, and then you also use Echo Link, I think.
Yeah, I use Echo Link too. Yeah, and it works pretty good. It makes it nice when I want to get back here when I'm on the 58 some spots. I definitely ain't getting in on RF, so I use Echo Link when my node's not working. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. So linked systems now, Echo Link All-Star. You've got the convenience of, if you don't have a rig with you, a radio is set up. If you got everybody's got their phone with them all the time. You can get right on any repeater and any link out there in the IRLP land, and just about talk anywhere in the world. So there you go. Thanks, Mark, for the comments. Bruce is on the side. KM6OJB. We talked a little bit about Echo Link. Don't like to use it that much, but how about you in the Papa system, Wind system, any of the others that I had mentioned? What's your experience? Are you getting familiar with them, or do you use them? What do you think? OJB Joe.
This is Joe, KM6OJB. So I'm not 100% certain what it is you're really asking. I have been on the Wind system, and so if I'm understanding your question, when I first got my ticket and I was trying to figure out what to do next, I got on the Wind system, trying to remember what the I don't remember what repeater. I think it was out of Santiago Peak, and net was some trivial questions, and they were on at like 11 or 12 o'clock at night, and there were a lot of people all over the western coast, California, Oregon, Washington. There was Idaho, and Recess. Couple of times I would be on during the day, especially on a Saturday or Sunday, and I was listening to, and actually had conversation with a person in New Zealand, somebody in Florida, Hawaii, Alaska, England. So I was getting around the world on the Wind system. Anyways, I have used it, but since getting on local repeaters and spending as much time as I do on those, I haven't visited the Wind system much since then. So KM6OJB, back to Jeff. Hopefully that's answering the question.
It does, Joe, and my apologies for not being very clear. So to make it clear to everyone, what I'm asking is what is your experience with linked systems like Papa and Win and some of the others that are out there? And which ones do you prefer? And so, Joe, you kind of answered that correctly. And then as a bonus question, I would throw in there, how do you get started in doing it? For us who aren't familiar with it, how do you start? Where do you go? Where do you start? So, thanks, Joe. Let's pick up Jerry, KD6JBL. Good evening. And Link Systems. Sounds like maybe we'll catch you just before you head over to Red Eye.
Well, hi, Jeff. I'm back for round two. Link Systems, to me, are no different than a single standalone repeater. I use one on 220 quite a bit, the Edison system. I've been a member over there for some 20-some odd years, so yeah, there are a few of them around. Some of them not so friendly as others, but since I got into HF and like the rag shoe so much, I've gone away from link systems quite a bit. So I don't have much to add to that, really. Not much information about it. All right, 73 to the group, it's always a pleasure. KD6JBL, back to you, Jeff.
One more question for you, Jerry, and then we'll let you go. When you say rack chew, so it sounds to me like on a link system, you're not really invited to do rack chewing. Is that about right?
Well, link system usually has a lot of people waiting to get on board, so the time is precious, you might say. So, yeah, as a general rule, you're right. There are exceptions to that, of course. Thanks, Jeff. KD6JBL.
Very good, Jerry. Thanks for being on board tonight, and good to hear you. Let's go to Dan, KN6IPW. What's your experience with link systems? Do you prefer one? Over to you, Dan.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I think I've mentioned before someone asked a similar question a few weeks back, and I try to get on the Sunday Boaters Net on the Papa system at 9 o'clock on AM on Sundays. As a boater, that's what I like to do, and that's my Sunday mornings. But I, like Joe, have been on the Trivia Net late at night on the wind system, and the way I got started on that was when I was looking for some repeaters to get on. I went on to I think it was Repeater book, and I got the frequency, and that led me to their website. And once I saw the website, then I registered. You had to get on a mailing list, and they would send you the questions, and you kind of just go through and give your answers, A, B, C, or D, whatever, and it wasn't much two-way conversation, just give your answers for that. But I also was on All-Star, and I don't know the frequency or it's on my radio, but there was some people down in Alabama, I think, and around, I guess, everywhere. But that's what I started listening to. Some people down there in the southeast, and just started just listening for a couple of days and chimed in. And I don't do that one too much. In fact, I don't hear them on too often. But those are the 2 or 3 that I've been on. But CarNet's my favorite. Back to you, KN6IPW.
That was a great answer, Joe. Great answer, Dan. But very good. So, yeah, it sounds like you are participating in quite a few of them. Not so much as you used to, but you have the experience. Very good. Thanks for the answers. Let's go to Mark, N6QAP. Over to you with the question, what's your experience with linked systems, and which ones do you prefer? N6QAP. Let's go to Joe, KD4STN. What do you have experience with link systems, and if you do, which ones do you prefer?
Well, I use the wind system, which is the link system, and I participate sometimes in the Insomniac net. But actually, I really like the wind system because I like the idea of being able to make very clear contacts all across the world. So it's a pretty impressive system. But anyway, that's my only experience. I tried the Papa net, and also I've done the Condor net sometimes, but not recently, in the past. But yeah, the wind system is pretty convenient. Anyways, those are my thoughts. Back to net control.
Okay, so you're getting good clarity on the wind system. Very good, Joe. Thank you. Let's go to Milt, N6MG. Same question.
Thanks, Jeff. N6MG returning. Well, I don't have a lot of experience with, the linked systems. I am a member of the Papa group, and I am a member of this group. And although we're not as defined as a, that's what we're about, nonetheless, we do link every day for one reason or another. So, and that's my experience with it. Again, I'm it's limited. One thing, though, that that does rather flabunge me is, the linking and the complexity of the links and, the different modes within those links, and it's just it's overwhelming. Like the ICOM has D-Star, and I think Yaesu is C4FM, the Anytone, their DMR, and then there's P25, and it's like the link systems really explore those avenues, but that's not really where my interests are. So, in answer to your question, a little bit of experience with linking only through some of, the clubs that I'm a member of or associations. And that's it. So, I'm sorry it's not as coherent as I'd like for it to be, but it's, a little late for me. Now back to that. K6 TRC from N6 Imaging.
Very good, Milt. No, sorry, no apologies necessary. And you're like a lot of us, dabble in it, but don't really have an interest in it. Very good, Milt. Thank you. Let's go to Jim, KB6TKA. Now, I heard you talk about Papa this afternoon, and this kind of what gave me the idea to talk about this tonight. So, what's your experience with link systems, and which ones do you prefer?
KB6TK. I like the Condor because I got my license in '88, and people I'd camp with, and they were about half of them were truckers, and about 3 or 4 of them were, hams, and they got me interested in ham radio, and got me a, ICOM, I think it's 220, and ICOM 2-meter, J-poles, and started out using the Condor system because all the way up north to the Bay Area, and it wasn't into Arizona at the time. If one of the drivers put a repeater up over there, I forgot where now, but we could get into it about, I don't know, way past Quartzsite. I can't remember. It doesn't make any difference. Then I had a lot of fun. We keep, track of each other and, talk on it all the time. And he even got a high patrol. One of the guys got a high patrol that he knew up there in Tracy to get his ham license, and he put one in the higher patrol car up there. So we talked to him all the time. Had a lot of fun doing that. And I get a Papa chat. I have Papa's chat on all the time, right? My radio's sitting right next to this one on the back of my chair out in the garage, and I get on there and I listen a lot. So then I'll look at the ID. In the United States, it shows the ID of where they're at and their name. Then the guy the other day was in Santa Maria, and I was curious about a sugar mill I used to haul up out of there and see if he was still around. Well, it wasn't. They had all boarded up. So another guy was up at their, let me reset. Their Fremont. So I hadn't been up at the Bay that much in a long time, and I was asking him some questions about some stuff up there, and we had a good conversation. What I do, like on Papa Chat, I'll call for John AJ6F, and then sometimes I don't get him usually. Then somebody will come back and start talking, and wherever. And I get on Papa Chat World, and I've talked to England and Island of Malta and all that. Had a lot of fun with it. I got HF here, but I get on there and check into a couple, nets, but that's about it. I don't sit in there and get that involved in it, but I like it. It was a lot of fun. KB6TK.
All right. Sounds like you're getting good use of a link system or a couple of them. Condor connection and the Papa system, Papa Chat, Papa World. Sounds like there's a couple of different channels there that you take advantage of. Very good, Jim. Thanks for the clarity. Let's see, Ted, KN6JIB. How about yourself? Experience with link systems, obviously. And which ones do you prefer?
This is KN6JIB. By the way, I had to jump over to Echo because the propagation's kind of degraded. But I have used the wind system, kind of like OJ Joe described. You know, it's pretty cool. You get to hear people from over in Europe and whatnot. But mostly what's useful to me is the regional nets. They don't have any particular name, but three that I use in particular out of my vacation cabin in Wonder Valley, which is near 29 Palms. There's a local club there that has 3 link repeaters in that whole Morongo Basin. So, you know, they're increasingly far away from my place, but I can call. They're all linked together, so I can basically communicate throughout the system there. And then the Keller Peak repeater also has a link to a repeater in Yucca Valley, which is not far from my cabin, and I can call into that. And by that means, I can call into like the Red Eye Net. I can't even call into the Red Eye Net from here in Yorba Linda, but I can from my cabin out in 29 Palms, or near 29 Palms. That's kind of ironic, but that's the way it is. So that's kind of a regional link system also. And the third one I use is the N6LXX repeater, which is up on Onyx Peak. And it's 50 miles away from me, but I have a clear line of sight, and with my HP, I can easily hit that repeater and work it. And I've called into, like, that repeater's linked into all the way from LA County down to San Diego County, and I've called into, like, the San Diego 6-shooters net. I think that's a 6-meter net, but, you know, the repeater on Onyx Peak is 446.88, I think. So not 6 meters, but anyway, that's kind of a cool thing, too, to be able to link into those other counties from there. So regional nets are kind of what I do. And how did I find out about them? I just went on repeaterbook.com and I just messed around from there. KN6JIB, back to that.
Okay, yeah, you definitely are involved in the link systems, and sounds like you take advantage and enjoy the opportunity to use them to communicate to some of your other nets that you're on. Like you gave an example, you can hit Keller from your vacation spot or your second house out there, but can't hit it from the location you're at, which is closer. Obviously, probably mountains in the way, I would imagine. But very good. Ted, thanks for the comments. Sounded good over Echolink tonight, so your connection's good. Let's go to Dave, GIA, KG6GIA.
KG6GIA, Dave in Orange. Yeah, I have a pretty extensive background with the Echolink thing for a long time when I first started. And then there was another system before I ever got into Echolink. I used Echolink a lot because I had a laptop that I was using for geology mapping, and so we'd talk around the world with that. And sometimes I'd fall asleep with it on, and I'd get calls from people that would see my node number. I get calls from Germany, Canada, where it's like sound asleep. I hear someone talk to me. It's like, who is this? There's nobody out here but me. And forgot I had the radio on. One of the most remarkable link calls I got out, a friend called me from up in Glendale and said, South Africa, White River Reserve, there was some like a station or a wildlife station out in South Africa, and a gal named Jane, and I can't remember her call, I got it written down somewhere, was my first longest contact doing a link system from my Radio Shack HTX202 to Palos Verdes, and from there it went into a link, either satellite or phone line or something, all the way down to Jane in South Africa in Johannesburg, and talked to her for a good hour. And it's just amazing. I was so jazzed I couldn't see straight. You'd think I just got married or something. And the next farthest one out was a man named Bobby over in Northern Ireland, and would talk to him literally, every month, once or twice a month. And I remember Bobby the most because one of his relatives helped build the glass bridge over the Grand Canyon at the Native Reservation, Reset. And the other one was, one day I was talking to him, had the window open up here. I'm about 12 miles east of Disneyland. If the air is cold enough, it sounds like the Blitz. It literally sounds like you're on a movie set for Normandy Beach when they do their fireworks. And he's like, what's all the noise in the back? Are you near a shooting range? He said, no, they're taking out Disneyland with fireworks. He said, it sounds like the war. So I never forgot that. Here's a really great guy, lives on a little farm out there, his little 3-cylinder wooden chassis sports car. I love it. Out in Ireland. But yeah, I've used also the wind system a little bit back in the days when Shorty was setting stuff up and linking things. And there's so many good ones out there. And the way I learned a lot about them in depth was to go look up the name or look up link nets or do word searches, ask an HRO, look on YouTube. There's so many different ways to learn about it. It's fun to just listen. You don't have to talk. It's fun to just listen. And if you have a scanner, just let it fly and take notes. And you'll find a lot of nets that way too. KG6GIA, Dave, back over to you.
That's really good advice, Dave. If you have a scanner, let it fly. I have found more things on the scanner than I've found on a repeater book, and yeah, it's more fun. I think it's more fun to go that direction. You feel like you've discovered something. So a lot of fun. Thanks, Dave. Let's see here. Let's pick up Stan, K6RMR, before we get lose the link. Go ahead, Stan.